it says that 6 of you are watching. Hi everybody, say hello, so I know that you're there. Kay unfortunately is still a bit under the weather, so you've got me again. And I'll just hang on for one or two more. So how is everybody? What's everybody up to? What's on your crafting tables? Hi Wendy. Hi Sandra. Did you have nice coffee and cake? Sandra is a friend of mine and was going out with a couple of other crafty buddies for coffee and cake, and I couldn't go this morning or lunchtime. Hi Jenny. Hi Lee. Says Veronica is watching. So today I thought I would do, you might have seen me do this again, I'm going to make a mood board or master board. I'm going to be using translucent paints. Craft along with me if you can. I'm using a piece of mixed media paper, translucent paints. I've got some So Good. I've got some ultrafine embossing powder just in case I need to. I've got my grab and go glue. I'm going to be using, I think, mulberry bush, daffodil, maybe Sargasso Sea or teal for two. So Lillian saying, hi Lorna, looking forward to the session. I spoke to Lillian earlier on, well, kind of, on Messenger. So I got your name correct, Althea. Oh, that's good. You've been enjoying the sun in Edinburgh. Ooh, are you going to go to the in July, I think there's a face-to-face dirty weekend in Edinburgh. So exciting. Sylvia is watching. So there's a few of you watching. Give me I'm just going to put my camera down. Give me a second. I'll show you what I've got. I also want to show you the ATCs that I received this morning from Harsha. I'm going to put them in the album that's there as well. But they're absolutely beautiful and they are really pretty. So I'm going to show you those as well. Bear with me while I try and get the camera right. You all know I'm not very good at this bit. Ooh. So what's that looking like? Yeah, have a look on the that is my, nope, that is my, don't really want my belly, do you? Hopefully I'll move that up. Can you all see what I've got here? If I move that around maybe. Oh, don't worry, Lillian. Quite often my name comes up as Korma, so calling me Laura is absolutely fine. I don't feel like I've got it very good. I was talking to Ella, and Ella thinks that it should kind of... We might be able to do it this way. It looks to me like it's just on the side, but let's have a look. So if I do it this way, we'll see how it goes. So I've got a small piece of mixed media paper. I thought this would make a card front. I'm going to stick it on a 5x7, and I've just used the edge of a wonky ruler. And Kay is, I don't know if you've seen Kay's. Kay made one by doing this onto an old red brick, but I just bought mine. So that's going to be the card front. I've got another piece which we need to, this is just mixed media paper which we need, and we're going to be using the brayer and some translucent paints. I've got Sargasso Sea, daffodil and mulberry bush like I said, but I've also got pop-up pink and teal for two. Now translucent paints, I think they are £3 on the website. They come in 20ml pots. The pop-up pink and the mulberry bush, if you mixed it with the yellow, if you could only have two, those two will also make that beautiful orange colour. So I'm probably going to use these two, but I might put some of the Sargasso Sea on it in as well. And I'll be using my brayer on a paint mat, and then I'll be cleaning my brayer on a piece of paper, which will give me some painty papers just to do that. But before I start, I wanted to show you these beautiful indigo blue ATCs that I had from Harsha today. So they came through the post. So they came in this little card with this little, it says create art, and these are them. So let's put them in order a minute. That's 1, 2, oh, I've got them in order. So this is card 1 of 4, and the theme is animals this month. I must send mine off to her. Can you see that? So I know it's on the reason I'm on the side is because I'm trying to do it. It should have righted itself, but it isn't. Maybe Ella will come on and tell me what to do. And this is card 2 that Harsha sent me. So this is beautiful. This says Whispers of the Heart. And this is all part, if I put them together, share the kindness that's in your soul. Do you know what animal it is? Hi Angela, and follow your dreams. So I think if I put them this way, you will see that it's that gorgeous elephant. So, just wanted to show you those. Now the mood board or master board doesn't matter if it's on the side really. So I'm going to put a bit of, what are we going to have first? I'm going to start with Sargasso Sea. And I'll put a bit just on my, here we are, look. Just a bit on the paint mat. Remember, you don't need a huge amount with this. I might need a little bit more than that. And I'm just spraying it out. Now when I put this onto my mixed media paper, I do it horizontally and vertically. I don't do it like all over. I want it to just come down. Now some of you might have seen me doing this, but this is the effect that I want when I actually cut some of it out. I think I've got 2 pieces away. Nope, I've got 1 piece. Don't worry if you go too heavy, you can always take some of it off. You can knock it back with the white G So Good. So as much as I'd like a bit more on there, that's enough for now. And I'll just clean my roller, literally just on just a bit of copy paper. Doesn't matter how it goes on there. So I'm going to have a little bit of mulberry bush. Not cleaning the paint mat. These all mix because they're translucent. They all mix beautifully. So, oh, look at that. Beautiful. So, now, if you get a patch that you don't like on this, remember that this is just a background. You are going to be, it's not going to look like this at the end. You're going to be cutting it down probably for, you know, cards or ATCs or whatever it is you're making. I think the last time I did this, somebody said to me that it looks quite tartany, and it does. Now I'm going to put a bit more on because I want a little bit darker in some places. Can you see how when I said it mixes beautifully, how here the Sargasso Sea, the mulberry bush has made that gorgeous purple. Angela loves the colours. Yeah, I love the translucent paints have got to be my favourite. I really quite like sparkly and golds and stuff, but these, I wonder if I put it that way, if you can see a bit more, but then it's a bit close to my screen. I don't think I've got this quite right. I'm hoping that maybe somebody will be able to tell me. Sandra loves the colours as well. So, cleaning my brayer, again, just on my paper. This dries really quickly. So, acrylic paint is kind of plasticky base and it does dry quickly. And these are only really fine layers. Fine layers? Thin layers even. So, let's have a bit of yellow. I love this daffodil. Look at that. How beautifully bright is that? So this now, you can't see me wiping all my tools in my apron. Can you see we get some of that, the yellow, where it's the texture of the paper gives us the white bits, but look at that. So So then you get your greens, your oranges. So that just those 3 colours, you have 5 on here now. We've got the mulberry bush, we've got the sargasso sea, we've got the daffodil. We then have this beautiful green that mixes and this gorgeous purple. So I think I'm going to put a little bit more yellow on, so a little bit more out of my pot. Ooh. Sargasso and mulberry are your favourites, Sylvia. Yep, I just always say to Annie, if you could only afford 2, I would buy mulberry bush and daffodil. They are my ultimate favourites. And then you get your, you know, your orange as well. So a bit more of the yellow. Now that's quite a lot of yellow on there, which is fine. Just going to clean off my paper again, or my brayer. So whilst we were on here, I wanted to talk. I had a little chat with Lillian earlier on via Messenger, because Lillian wondered, she hasn't been on one of the Indigo Blue Crafting retreats before, and she wondered kind of what happened, and it must be quite daunting if you've not been and you don't know what's happening. And Lillian is staying where most of us are, and hopefully I reassured her that we're all a friendly bunch. And basically what will happen is that once you arrive there, we'll all introduce ourselves. If we bump into each other, where we stay has a communal kitchen. Now just before, sorry, I'll waffle on again in a minute. I'm going to spray this because I want some, this piece that's going to be our card front, I want some paint on it. And this will dry itself, I'm sure. If I don't like this afterwards, I can just always get another piece. So let's put that there and give this a wipe off. I don't really like wasting this very much. I can't see any rice paper or anything on my desk. So the retreat, the secret retreat in April, we'll get there, we'll introduce ourselves. Now this Thursday, on the Thursday, the DT we are having a post-Christmas catch-up, we promised ourselves, but everybody else will probably go down to the Italian, and anyone's welcome, and they are all so friendly, and they walk down and walk back, it's not far down. Friday we go to the retreat, and the gorgeous Anne Godfrey will have some toast and crumpets and cups of tea there. So we'll have that for breakfast. There's tea and coffee throughout the day. Kay we'll all introduce ourselves, I'm sure, and Kay will show us what we're going to be making. And basically we craft. We have lunch there, and a buffet lunch is provided. And then straight afterwards that evening, straight as we leave the retreat, we'll go off and have, it was an Indian last year, I'm not sure this year. So yeah, and then the Saturday kind of happens again. So it's a really, really friendly retreat. Now back to my crafting. I've got some Gisa Good, and this is quite thick. Mine is at the bottom of my container. I need to get some more. And again, just on my paint mat, and I'm going to knock back some of these colours with a bit of the white, and then decide if I want to add any more on again. And I'm thinking that I might put a little bit more of the pink on. I probably want it a little bit pinkier than I do. Don't worry about these big bits here, because you can, you know, you keep adding until you're happy. So a little bit more, and I'm literally just putting this where the white is, so it might go a little slightly different colour, but this is the mulberry bush. So we've got all those colours now. Right. Clean off my brayer. I'm just going to give this a little blast now, so mind your ears. And while I'm doing that, I'll have a look at some of the comments. Chris says, lovely colours. Hi Elaine, Sean is watching. Hi Jill. Lillian says she's so excited. Oh, I can't wait, Lillian. Absolutely can't wait. It's a really, really lovely experience. The crafting is great. Everyone is friendly. We have a giggle. And it's really nice for us to put faces to names. So that's all. It's just lovely. Right, I'm going back in with my mulberry bush, and this time I'm going to use a brush. Just a brush, and I am going to put it out like this. Maybe a bit more than that. Big brush, little pot, that's only me that can do that. And I'm going to do some stamping onto my masterboard. So what am I going to use? For the top of my card I want flower heads, which is by Janine. And Janine Gerard Shaw. And can I say that on Friday, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this yet or not, there's a bit of an offer coming up, so check these out. But I'm also going to be using Shine Bright and Bordering on the Ridiculous by Asia. So there is also by Asia on April the, I want to say April the 1st. Yes, it is April the 1st at 7 o'clock and 11 o'clock. We have, Indigo Blue has a show, so check those out as well. So I'm only going to stamp with the same colours that I've been using. So this is Mulberry Bush, and I'm literally just randomly stamping because this is going to be a background. Won't see all of the bits that I'm putting into it. It is just random. And again, as much or as little as you want. Now I'm taking my stamp off, and off camera you can't see it, but I have got some soapy water because I don't want this to be ruined. So that's gone in there. I'm going to give that a little bit of a dry. Who else? So Karen is watching, Babs is watching. Chris says she's late joining but glad I'm here. You can always watch the start again, that's the beauty of the lives. Oh, you've got your name down for September as well, Lillian, so have I. Yeah, and then in November I'm going to the Exeter face-to-face workshop. Now I'm going to put some of these on. Tell you what I haven't done is cleaned my brush. Let's do that in a minute. And wipe off my mulberry bush because I'm going to use a different colour. I'm not going to worry about it too much because, like I say, they do all mix. And I'm probably going to stamp in a bit of Sargasso Sea. Again, just on, and this is going to make some purples probably because you can see I've not cleaned my paint mat very well. Ooh, and I want another brush. Let's get another brush. This one. Again, just putting it on. So I'm going to get can probably see some of the purple bits coming through, but that's absolutely fine. And get that off. Now you don't have to use a block at all, I just prefer it, but you don't have to. And again, just making some random I love making these. You know, if you can't think, you know, sometimes you sit down at your desk and you're like, I don't know what to do. I just find if you've got a few background papers ready to use. So you can see that I've got some of the numbers from this one. And again, straight into my soapy water. And I think I'm going to use a little bit more before I put some white on. So what shall I use? Ooh. I have going to use some of these dots, and this is from Shine Bright. And actually, I might this time, I'm going to use yellow. I am going to clean my, oh, do you know what, I'm just going to spray this with a bit of water and put my card back in it because I don't want all yellow. Leave that there. I don't know if I like that yet or not, but I'll leave that there. And I'll get better clean than that. So some daffodil. I don't want too much daffodil. I don't want it to be all yellow because I really want to put some white on, which again will knock some of the colours back a little bit, although I do want it fairly kind of bright. Oh, didn't put my paint out. So again, just and these are some of the now you can't really see these a huge amount, so I might put some more on, and that's because I've chosen the yellow. So learn from your mistakes, Lorna. That's not going to show up, so I'm going to put that in there, wipe my mat again and start using the G So Good. And this is where for me it kind of comes alive, it sort of lifts it all. And let's wipe the paint mat. And again, all I'm going to do with the G So Good is the same as I've just done. Put on with a brush. That brush will do. My paint is, I must get some more of this. It's quite thick, but that's fine. I might want quite a bit of this. And this time I'm going to use some of my mark makers. Now I saw Kay do this at the first 30 weekend I went to, and this is my mark maker box. Old credit cards, old you know, bottle tops from conditioner and a bit of bubble wrap. So I'm going to use my bubble wrap and then we'll see. And this for me, when you add a bit of the white, is where it starts to lift and starts to so we're just adding texture and layers all the time. I'll put that there. I need to put a bit more white down on my paint mat. Right. I know I've done, some of you have seen me doing these, but I never get fed up with these. I never get bored of them. And I don't clean my mark makers. Again, just smooth out my white G so good. None of this has to be perfect. It's just all, I love these colours. I think that it looks really, really lovely as it is. And I'm going to go with this. So again, spread out my G so good. And I'm just putting in just randomly, and then I'm going to look for a smaller one in my box. Perfect. And this is a little tiny bit, again, cut off an old, I think this was a Pets at Home card. My girls won't be happy if they're not getting their treats. So can you so literally just whatever you want to do until you're happy with it. And I'm fairly happy with that. I kind of like that. It's got all of the colours in it that I want. Oh, there's Anne Godfrey. So Lillian, Anne Godfrey is the lady. They say never upset the chef. She is the lady that we all love because she is just the best tea maker. I've got to say that because she is really. So I'm going to call out that with that. And I'm just going to clean up my paint mat a minute. Bear with. So Chris says, I have a mark making box but forget to use it. I must leave it out on my desk. I use mine every time I craft. Every time. Lillian says, hi Anne, I'm a decaf coffee girl. Hi there, my friends. Just getting sorted. Not much of a lady when you get to know her. Is that me or you, Anne? I'm definitely a lady, as you can tell from my lovely accent. Let's have a few more. So Evelyn is watching. Fabulous name, Evelyn. My granddaughter's called Evelyn. It looks awesome. Thank you, Chris. Oh, Dot, my friend Dot is watching. Anne says she's here a bit rough around the edges. Oh, you're not feeling so good. Kelly's watching, likes the colours. So Diane says, I missed the beginning. What product are you using to brayer and stamp? I'm using indigo blue translucent paints. So they do them in a whole range of colours. They are £3 on the website and they come, this is a bigger pot from one of the retreats, so you have to ignore this pot, but they come in 20ml pots. I'm using Sargasso Sea, Daffodil and Mulberry Bush, and those three colours have given me the greens and the purples as well. So translucent paints, all they mix beautifully, and you can layer them, and you get to see a little bit of what's underneath as well. So they are my favourite paint, so I use them a lot of the time. And then the white is just some G So Good, so it's just put it on and to knock it back a little bit. I'm going to give this a blast with a dryer now. Oh, Anne, you've got the virus. Oh no, not good. It's going around, isn't it? So I'm just going to get my heat tool. Sorry, I keep knocking the camera. That's pretty dry now. So the other thing I could have done, and I did mean to do it, and maybe I can do it on a part of it to show you. I'll have to put a bit more gesso on. Or maybe I could just make another one. Let me make another one without stamping and show you. So this is one with some stamping and stuff on. I just happen to have another piece of mixed media paint here. Excuse me. It says live video interrupted. I'm not sure what I did then. And I'll just do another one quickly. And I'm going to start off with mulberry bush this time. Oh no, I tell a fib. It's pop-up pink. So, again, just the same. Sprayer in. And I'll do this slightly different, and then we will cut some up and turn it into a card. So again, I was saying, if you've not watched from the beginning, I do this horizontally and vertically. And to clean my brayer, I literally just put it on a piece of, this is just copy paper. I'll use this afterwards. This won't get wasted. It'll go on a bit of mixed media or a bit of something. And I'm going to put some of the Sargasso Sea, and I'm putting it straight on the top because these colours do mix. And I will get some of the purple coming through. Let me just wipe my palette knife on my pinning. And again, don't worry about if it goes darker and you don't like it so dark, because you know, you will knock it back with a bit of gesso if you want to. Maybe I'll use a different, I should have used the teal for two. Maybe I should have used some different colours. But I can do that. So, I'm going to wipe off a bit of that on the paint mat. What other colour should I use? How about using, let's see what we've got here. And you don't have to use translucent paints. I've done these in metallics. How about some orange tiger lily? Let's add a bit of that into the mix. Beautiful colour. Our lovely head of RDT is Carolyn, and Carolyn loves orange colours. So again, this gives it a darker green colour when you mix it. Right, because I just want to show you with the stencil, just going to get this time. It's just another piece of copy paper. Look at that, so you could use that. Doesn't that look good? That would look nice to stamp on. So, bit of G So Good. Oh, I really must get some more. And this time I'm going to get a sponge, she says. I've got loads of sponges here, but do you think I can see one right when I need one? Oh, here's a little one. It's got a bit of black on the back, but that won't matter. And I'm going to use the Rocco stencil. So if I bring this down a little bit. Again, you can still stamp on it. You can use the stencil and the stamps and do whatever. So to do this, I am putting it in and then taking a lot of the paint off. So onto my... And you could use 2 or 3 stencils, you don't have to use the same one. Again, just randomly. And I'm putting it over where some of the darker colours are. Patching it on. And again, the stencil, the same as your stamps. If you've got gesso good on them or acrylic paint on them, put them straight into some warm water, because you will find that there we are, that's gone in there. I think I might put another, have I got another stencil close to hand? What shall I use? This is, I'm going to think of his name in a minute. It's Pete. I can't think what the stencil's called. I'm sure somebody will be able to tell me. So again, start putting some of the white on before I put my marks on. Hi Yuki. And it just gives it a little different, depending on what sort of background you want. And I'm putting that in the water. Bit more gesso good out. And again, I'm going back in with my and again, it's individual just until you're happy with it. So I'm not going to use this one today. So I'm going to put that to one side to dry for another day. I'm going to clean this off. And then we'll stamp onto the one we've just done. Because I'm pretty sure that will be dry now. So I'm going to use the excuse me, the VersaFine Claire to stamp. I'm going to use some of our ultra fine embossing powder as well. That is $5.50 for a pot, and it looks like this. So in there you get 60 ml of it, and it lasts forever. I tip mine into just a takeaway container because I just find it a little bit easier. So I absolutely love the colours in this. And in fact, I don't want to stamp in... Do I want to stamp in black? I think I'm going to stamp in... What have I got here? Navy. Yep, I want it to be fairly dark. I'm going to stamp in navy. So if you want to be really careful and you don't want embossing powder over everything, then you can use your like a little embossing buddy or something on it, you know. But I'm not worried about that. I'm not bothered if I get a few shiny bits or not, because I'm going to be using the flower stamps and the flower heads, I should say, which are these ones. And then fussy cutting them out. So what shall we start with? Don't look at my stamps. These are my most used set of stamps. Now this one has lost its sticky. So all you need to do, if your stamps lose their sticky, all you need to do is put some of our grab and go on the back of your stamp, and then leave it go, you know, totally clear, and it will stay tacky and will stick to your acrylic blocks. Now, I have got a set of Slim Jims. This one isn't, but I have got a set of Slim Jims, and I do find that they're actually really easy to use. They're not as bulky as this. Now, because mine aren't so great, I am literally going to stamp it just here, because I want to cut out this frame. And VersaFine Claire's, they are on the website at £5.50. I think they're £5.50. And I'm going to put some ultrafine embossing over that in a minute. I'm going to stamp everything in. I'm going to do a couple of these because I don't know what I want yet for the front of my card. Couple of those, some of these. Now I do know that my sticky on this one has come off as well. These really are my most used stamps, so I do it off to one side just in case. There we go. And you can have a look. I'm going to keep some of this because that will do another background, but I do want a bit of the yellow in. So I am going to do this way. And I'll do another one. Just again, like I said, I don't know what I want. And really I should get some embossing powder on this, although these do stay very juicy. So let's do that before I do anything else. You can see that I will get a few other shiny bits, but for me on this it doesn't matter because I'm cutting this out. If it was a background that I didn't want patchy shiny bits, then obviously I would put my embossing buddy on. So lovely. I love this these colours, and I'm gonna melt that a minute with my heat gun. I remember the first time I ever saw embossing, I just thought it was amazing. So I'll just do the back of it a minute because my card probably will do a little bit. Just start and pull it around. Chris says they will probably be my most used stamps when I get them. I absolutely love them. These are definitely my most used. So I went to Craft Group yesterday and I used them there as well. And if you look on the website, you'll see that Kay has designed and printed some papers, and you get cool colours and warm colours, and that's what I stamped mine onto yesterday. I also won, I think, a word, and I had a little stamp here earlier on which I hadn't put away, which is so bad of me, but now I can't see it on my desk. I can always go and get another one. And I was thinking that I would just have one word on a card. I need to make a thank you card. I'll have a look for it in a minute. So I'm gonna cut these out. Bear with me, a bit of fussy cutting. Not my favourite job. Then I think we'll make a new background, actually, not with this, but for the card. Use my little decoupage scissors to cut these out. I'm leaving a little border around it. Someone told me the other day they call this the sticker effect. I don't know, never heard it called that before. I just think that because the colours are so pretty, oh, I was off camera then, sorry. No. Right, I'm going to cut into here, but I'm going to try and save this inside bit, simply because I can stamp something else onto it. Oh, she says, getting me scissors all caught up. Everyone that knows me knows that fussy cutting is not my favourite job. It's a means to an end, and sometimes you just have to do it, don't you? I'm not really sure I've got my camera angled properly. So, one frame. Well, hopefully I've inspired you all to make some backgrounds, because they're so easy and you don't have to think about it. If you can't think of, if your mojo decides it's gonna up and go for a little bit, you don't have to think about them. You just have to put some colours that you like, and it can be any colours, doesn't matter. It can be metallics, it can be, don't have to be translucents, they can be anything you like. You just have to think about where you want to put them. Oops. You can also do this if you get a sheet of, you know, like labels that you would put through a printer if you wanted to print out some, you know, your name and address or something. If you get a sheet of those and do the same thing, just use it instead of the mixed media paper, and then take off your labels once they're all dry. You've got a whole load of different things that will make really fab, funky backgrounds. So this is my flower head. I'm going to do a couple of those. When I've done this, I'll have a look at the comments again. I'm sorry to hear you're not very well, Anne. My mum and dad both have. They're on day 12. My dad has just started testing negative. He's in hospital, but he had a heart attack 5 days ago. So whilst he was in there, he's been in since a week Saturday gone, but now they've moved him to the cardiology ward. Now they can. And my mum's not very good either, and she's on the 12th day of testing positive. So how pretty do these look? So you get all those different colours. And every one is different because they've just been cut out of the background. So let's put those to one. Ooh, let's put that on there. Now I do think I am going to, I don't like my background, so I'm going to get another piece of paper and just trim it down a minute. Again, out of my mixed media pad. I have got a trimmer on the table. Oh, I don't need to do it with a trimmer. Let's do it with this. So, sorry to hear that. Just my second day. Sandra loves the frame and the flower heads. Leslie is watching. Oh, hi Shazia. How are you? I don't know if I've seen you over on here before. Nice to see you. So, this is my wonky ruler. It just gives you a bit of an edge. And I am going to use my other ruler roughly. So if I put it on a 5x7 card, I'm going to use probably around 4 3/4, so something like that there. Ooh, I'm just doing it on the small one at the moment. So I think what I'll do is one of the watercolour techniques on this. I'm going to cut one end off here. Ooh, upside down. Oh, wasn't very good of me, was it? I need to press a bit harder, Lorna. And then I want it to be roughly 6 3/4, so about something like that. Where is the wonky ruler from? I'd love one. I believe I bought mine from Amazon. I think it says We Are, so it must have been one of the Memory Keepers ones or something. But you can make your own. So if you get a plastic ruler, this isn't very good when you want to measure, say, 5 inches, because it's kind of back to front for me. But Kay, you might have seen her using it. She has a plastic ruler like this. She gets an old house brick and she does this on it. So it'd be like this, just in places, and you get the same effect. So, I mean, I've had mine for, I don't know, a long time, so I'm not really sure where it came to. Now, that isn't very straight. I don't know if I like that much. So I'm just going to... That was too wonky. And that'll do. That will do. So I am going to use these in a minute, but I do want a background on this. So I'm going to... oh, my water's yellow. I don't really want water. Undo my spray. And I need to put a nice soft brush in there. You want a round, nice soft brush for this. Probably a bit bigger than the one I'm going to use. And I'm just putting kind of a frame on here. And this is always done, it's always best to do this when, to be able to leave it to dry naturally, really. You're going to get the best effect. I'm not going to do that because, just for the time. And perhaps I should have done this first. I didn't really like the one when I was dipping it in. Although, again, it won't be wasted. So this is quite a lot of water. And can you see my paper is buckling a little bit? If I'd sprayed the back of this first, it probably wouldn't have. So I'm going to use, what colours do we want? I'm going to use a bit of pop art pink on my paint mat. Lots of water and clean water, so I'm spraying it. And I'm just going to literally, I kind of want it to have a, not too straight an edge. And you can always put more water on and it will just kind of, and then I'm going to put some yellow on, and you'll see this is where, for me, when you're doing this, the magic happens. And again, like I've been saying all the way through, this will mix and change colour. So this is a daffodil that I'm going to use. And you'll see when it goes in, it will just wherever, really, doesn't have to be. And then again, you can put a bit more. I'm dipping mine in here because I've got lots of water on my desk, and it's all. Can you see where that goes? Really yellow, orangey. And I think I will put a little bit of, so I guess AC, because that's what I've been using, into that as well. Again, plenty of water on your brush. And then it's just and it will all mix. Now, if this was left to dry naturally, it would all go in and it would all, would dry, and it would, what am I trying to say? It would look like a watercolour. So I'm going to dry this by the heat gun. But I want to take some of these bits out because they're going to blow, and I want to leave a frame around my card. So I'm just going to dab some of these off. Because I don't want it to go too far. Look at that lovely green. I've got a little pool down here. And normally I would just leave these, and you can take some of a bit more away. Right, bear with me while I'm going to have a quick slurp of my tea. Put the heat gun on, so mind your ears. You'll probably see some of the paint moving. There's quite a lot of water on this. Fab effect to the card background. Thank you. I learnt it from Kay. What, for cutting wool? Oh. Sandra Henderson, she runs our knit and natter group, and she does paper crafting and scrapbooking with me, but she is also a fabulous knitter. But she banned me from ordering anything else because she wasn't very pleasant to me yesterday. Can you hear my sad voice, Sandra? But she's also knitting me a bobbin. So, now that's not taking too long to dry at all, is it? So I am going to put a bit of a stencil on this. Now the stencil I was going to use, of course, is in my water. So I have, what did I do with all my stencils? I had a box of them here, a bag of them here, and I think they might have just fallen on the floor. So, what else have we got on our desk? I have got, oh no, there they are. So I think I might use this one. Or I might use, you know what, I'm going to use this one, I think. Just a few words. And I'm going to pick them out. Just some nice words. I am going to use, what colour am I going to use on that? I'm going to put black frame around it, I think. I'm going to use, this is just a distress ink that I'm going to use with a, let's have a look. Don't want that. The brushes need a good clean, really. What colour is that one? Bear with, just. I'm just going to use this little brush, just give it a clean on my pinny. So this is Bundled Sage. I think it's Bundled Sage. Yep. And I'm just going to put some of these words on it. Doesn't have to be right over. Possibility of a miracle. I like that word, so we're going to have that there. And maybe just a little bit there, just because I like to have three bits. Right, that will do. And I'm thinking I'm going to put my frame kind of like here, just over to one side. And I've got some grab and go glue. So I'm guessing you all know that with this glue you have I'm going to use my finger on that in a minute, it's a little bit. A nipple on the end, so that when you finish using it, you can, right, where am I going to put this to? I'm going to stick it just there. Now I kind of want, I think that there, that or the blue maybe. And I also want to put this on, but I am going to make a frame. So, another frame. I'm going to use this to do maybe I'm only measuring it because I want to put another piece of thing. So 2.5 by 2.5. Sorry, it's really old. By nice break up this end, 2.5. So I've got a little square. Let's have a bit of this. That will do. So I'm going to do 2.25 by 2.25. I'm going to stick that on there. So again, a bit of the grab and go. I'm a bit heavy-handed, look, so use my fingers. I do love the colours in these. And I think that can go. Because I've got a square, what am I going to do? Maybe the blue. I think I'm going to put this on here like this. look like. Blue or the pink? Let's have a look. Oh, that one, I think. Yeah, I'm going to put some of the blue on. I'm going to stick there. Stick the head down so it... Now I need a word. Whilst that is drying, I know that I've got a word on my desk, I just don't know where it is. These are some of the flower heads and some of the circle flowers that I've fussy cut out, and these were on the cool papers I was talking to you about. These are the warm and the cool. Oh, these are mostly the cool papers. Some of the circle flowers. So worth having a look at. Right, it also needs a frame around it. Now this is silly. I really need to have a good clean up before I attempt to do any crafting again. I was going to use the word thanks because, like I say, I need to make a thank you card. But it has disappeared. So, okay, we don't need to do that. We will just do... I found it. And this is from... I have a feeling that Mike Deacon might have designed these ones. Now that I found it, I am going to do this in the same VersaFine Claire that I did. And I only want the thanks, really. It doesn't matter how much of it I... kind of want it in that bit of yellowy there. And again a bit of the embossing powder. So the stamp I was using, they've got some really nice positive words on them. They've got thanks, they've got hope, they've got love, they've got all sorts. Now I don't really need to put the embossing powder on this, but I do it because those VersaFine Clairs are quite juicy. I quite often end up smudging them, so I'm going to do this. Cut the word out. And I'm going to go just a bit above, so it's got a bit of script above it. On there. Let's bring that in here. That can go along there. So I'm going to cut the tail end of that off. Now I want that raised. So have I got any? Oh, I do. Oh, only little ones though, never mind. I'll do that. I'd probably have put a bit more on if I had a bit bigger ones, but that will do. So I'm going to put that on there, I think. And then it needs, for me, before it needs to go onto a card base. Got one here. but it needs framing as well. So I have got, yes, I've got one. I am just going to just draw a squiggly line. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, just around, and I might do it twice. Sorry, turning it around, probably making your eyes go funny. Before I stick it, I'm going to put a bit of, oh, just use the back of this, so it's not, I don't get it too... I think it would look so. Just a quick and simple card, just showing you how I use those backgrounds. So I don't know if you can. If I put it that way, back to front, obviously with the words. I don't know how to change that. If you make any backgrounds, I would love to see some of them. So let's have a look. I will see. So Yvonne says it looks some. Thank you. It's just, are the words back to front on the stamp? No, they're not, Sylvia. It is. I am really technically challenged, and our lovely Ella must shake her head every time I try to do something. I think that it's the camera. I think that if let me have a go. I'm not very good at, let's see if I turned it that way, would it work? I'm getting a mirror image as well. No. So there must be a way, and I'm sure that Ella will tell me how to do it. I keep telling her she needs to come down on holiday. I'm so not technical. But yeah, that's my card for today. That was my background. This was my other background. Not finished, but I'll put a few more bits on. But you can see where I'm going with it, hopefully. Those lovely bright colours. These are my bits of papers that you can certainly stamp on, add on to mixed media. This is just the cut. This is just the cleaning papers. So I'm hoping you enjoyed that. I'm hoping we've had a bit of crafty time. Let me put this up. Ooh. There's it, and it's when setting up the live. Unable to change it now. The stamps aren't backwards. No, the stamps definitely aren't backwards in any way. It's fine. Well done you. Thank you, Anne. Lillian's going to... Oh, I'm glad I've inspired you, Lillian. Go and have a play. They are fabulous. So remember, I used the mulberry bush. I used a few, didn't I, in the end? Tiger lily, daffodil, sargasso sea. Used the flower head stamps, the white G So Good, the VersaFine Clair, the ultra fine embossing powder, and the translucent paint. So there we go. I don't know what the time, 4:15. So hopefully I've inspired one or two of you, and I'm going to make that it now. I really need to tidy up my craft room, and I will see you all very soon. Thank you very much. Bye.